Last week, it was day one of the Crappie Masters National Championship. Nearly 140 boats were on the water, and the fish noticed. Where mere days before, teams were reporting heavy bags in the pre-fish. Tournament day was tough.
You know, I've never seen it completely change from one day to the next. Most of the time, you can go back to where you found them. We had loads of fish found. We went back and there was zero.
Some teams finished strong, though, and are confident they left fish behind.
You know, the area I'm fishing, I didn't have as many boats there, so I'm hoping they're not as pressured. That could play into my favor.
As we begin day two of tournament action, two prizes are up for grabs. The $30,000 grand prize for this tournament and the title of Crappie Master Angler Team of the Year. We start day two with the second place team of TJ and Alex Palmer. This father and son duo lay out the situation for us and provide a pro tip for how to catch them.
They're just real spooky. Get a jig by them if you twitch it or anything. A lot of times we twitch it just to get them to react, and you twitch it, it seems like they just bolt, take off, and then you're chasing them. We've tried everything, sitting still right on their head. Yesterday afternoon, they wanted it swimming by them just as slow as can be. Light, real small. You gotta be patient and let that jig fall. It's just, I don't know, you can't beat spending time in the boat with your boy. I think it's really good deal with the adult youth. Get some kids involved, and that's the generation for sure, or that's the next generation, keeping them kids involved in the outdoors. Catch it, hang on a second, guys, we got a good, oh my goodness, he just comes up and mouths our bait. Fish like this make your stomach sink when they start swimming towards it and don't bite it. Dang. You just turn on. Yep, I got him. This is a better fish for sure. Oh yeah, we needed that one.
Last year's grand champion, Eric Cagle, is a little more discriminating. Currently in 5th place, he wants 7 fish, but tosses his first catch of the day back. His second fish is a little thicker in the back and is the first in his live well. Zeke Anderson and Dylan Hackler, the Bass Tank team, are being even choosier. With an empty live well, their first fish goes back in the water. Even with as tough as their bite has been, their second catch goes back into the water as well. Still, they have their goals, and they know who their competition is.
I'd really like to have about 11.5 pounds on our scale by 7:05,
but we're not just large.
I know, right?
But the Bass Tank team of Fock and Larch aren't invulnerable to the crappie being finicky. When we caught up with them, their first hook was a short strike.
Man, there's so many of them that when they're roaming away from you, you put it right on their nose and they'll check up for like a half a second, turn around, look at it, then they turn around and just keep back on the path they're on. And man, it's tough. We're gonna try to work our way this way down these kind of, there's basically some little ridges that run across these flats, and maybe old oxbows or sloughs or whatever they are, but we're basically just trying to kind of roam that as we go. And you know, we run a dual setup on live scope, so I do run perspective mode at the same time. And, you know, I'm able to kind of really broadly check this water fast. And it helps me size those fish up really well before I get there. So I am a little bit, I'm able to move pretty quick. And that's generally a big key to success when you're live scoping nowadays, is just, you know, covering as much water as you possibly can. You're gonna do better. Big fish, big fish. Yep, there you went. Tell me he's spooked. You ever seen one run off so fast he run across the top of the water to get away from you? Literally broke the surface taking off.
Your national champions, TJ and Alex Palmer.
Crappie Masters All-American Tournament Trail is brought to you by American Ethanol, Humminbird, HH Rods and Reels, Genco Fishing, The Bass Tank, and these other fine sponsors. It's Championship Saturday, and the team of Richard Bowling and Gary Lee are the tournament leaders after day one. The honey hole they found yesterday isn't as sweet today.
Leading the tournament yesterday, and today is not near like the bite it was yesterday. We've only seen about probably maybe 10 tournament type fish today, and caught one of them, and it's in the live well, and I think it's actually going to die. Hooked him deep. It's just a total different day. The fish we've seen are not really wanting to bite. Drop on them, they're spooky, they run. One laying right there, I think. Little guy. Could all eat like that little guy, we'd be in good shape. We got time. Just gotta get him to bite.
The third place team of Clay Gann and Todd Froby are having a decent morning, but have had to change tactics for day two.
We're just easing through these trees. We had to change baits today. They wouldn't, we were throwing colors all week different colors, and they just follow it. We wouldn't hit it today. We've had a lot of big fish not bite today, but we're just easing through these trees, and we've started casting to them more today. We were pitching to them yesterday pretty good ways, and we're going even further today. Trying to stay 30, 40 foot off of them and cast to them. And that one just, we saw him way out there, and he followed his jig and kind of got right underneath the boat and hit mine. So, gotta find some more like that. Hey, is that one right there, or is that a blob? It looks like a fish, man. Just 10 foot out there. See him? Yeah. I thought it was a blob. Yeah, I thought I went right by him. At first I thought it was me one of them blobs. It kind of looks like a fish now. Oh, yeah, he's moving now. Here he comes. Got him. Little.
Yeah, if you want to come
lots of those.
A lot of crappie come to Darbone Lake, Farmersville, Louisiana.
A lot of those fish right there today.
A bunch of fish in this lake, for sure. Nice eater fish.
Down the leaderboard in 9th place, Matt DeMuth and Andrew Oakley weighed in nearly a pound less than the leader, but mere hundreds of a pound below the next 3 spots over them.
Bottom lipped.
Their chances are good for a rocket shot up in the rankings, if they can find the fish.
We're in here, around the river channel here, working these stumps. We got a decent little bag at the moment, a little over 10 pounds. Just looking for that big kicker fish. The lake's full of little fish.
That's a good one.
They're not very hard to get to bite. The big fish, they just seem to be scattered and just cover a lot of water. And just hope to run across one. We managed to pull out I think a 266 yesterday, or 216 I believe it was. Out of here yesterday. Hopefully we can find another one.
They were able to land a nice keeper about every 20 minutes and got their 7.
Get in there.
But will they be able to upgrade? Will it be enough to beat the 7th place team of Matthew and Bruce Rogers, who sit above them on the leaderboard? We'll catch up with Team Rogers when we come back.
Here he is. I don't know if it's crappie.
Crappie Masters All-American Tournament Trail is brought to you by the National Corn Growers Association, Minn Kota, Power Pole, Millennium Marine, Ozark Rods, and these other fine sponsors. Welcome back. Crappie Masters loves the lakes we fish and the cities we support, and our national championship on Darbonne couldn't be possible without the support we get from the Louisiana Office of Tourism, the Union Parish Tourist Commission, the Union Parish Chamber of Commerce, the Union Parish Police Jury, and the beautiful city of Farmerville. From giant crappie to legendary Louisiana seafood and cuisine to state parks and nightlife, Union Parish, Louisiana is a world away, close to home. See more at tourunionparish.org and louisianatravel.com.
Gosh, this thing is huge.
Matthew and Bruce Rogers ended day 1 in 7th place, and as the morning started, they had no problem catching fish. Some they kept, others they didn't. Rogers tends to take more chances, catching more fish and hoping they're bigger than they look on the screen. Other times, he sees one he knows he's willing to chase.
No, 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 please, no, 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 no. No. Gosh, it's huge. How did I end up floating right on it like that? Yep. Good God. Little. I see a big one though. Hold on. This. Oh, did I spook it? Don't move.
The Bass Take team of Falk and Larch are looking for upgrades. They have their 7 fish, but they're not at the weights they had by this time on day 1.
He's not as big as I thought he was. I'd be tickled with 11 pounds, maybe 11 and a half. I'd feel real good with that. Obviously, if I could hit that 12-pound mark again or 12 and a half again, you know, that would be, man, I'd be walking in high cotton, you know. I mean, I think it's going to be really tight on that deal, and it goes back to what I've been saying the whole time in practice. It's just really going to be the guys that are lucky enough to catch an average-sized stringer and get a big bite, you know. Obviously, if you're lucky enough to get 2 big bites, you've got a real good shot at it.
When it comes to a 120 plus, but them, you can catch every one of them.
The current leaders, Richard Bowling and Gary Lee, are still struggling to upgrade as time ticks away on the last day of the last tournament of the season.
Fished 4 different spots, some of them twice, and still the fish are not moving in or moving up, just not seeing nothing really. I believe this is called Stowe Creek. We're in the back of Stowe Creek, just along the river channel, you know, like stayed in 15 foot of water. Yesterday fished the same area except we was out in the front of it. Now we're in the back of it. These fish kind of migrated back. Bites a lot worse and just not seeing near the good fish. And we fished straight across from Stowe Creek on the big flat. That's where we're fixing to head back to see them fish moved in there. And that's really the only 2 places we've had to fish. And they've been good, but they're not too good today. We started the mouth of it and we had it to ourselves where the little run we was on, and you can see now there's not hardly a boat around us. They might know something we don't know. Now, we haven't had pressure. Any spot we've been, we've not had a lot of pressure, so we can't blame it on that. We're just not seeing the fish today. Not the ones we need.
The 2020 reigning national champion, Eric Cagle, is looking for keepers and isn't wasting a second. He's in 5th and hoping to move up on the leaderboard. The first place winner is guaranteed $30,000 as well as the national title. And being a 2-time reigning champion is better than losing the title. Can he do it? Find out at the weigh-ins later in the show as Crappie Masters continues. We're back. Zeke Anderson and Dylan Heckler are growing more and more frustrated at how stubborn the fish are on day 2. They're in 10th place, and the more they chase, the more the fish run. And to make matters worse, they're looking to upgrade, and they're not able to get anything bigger than a pound to bite. Got him. Clay Gann and Todd Froby have fished a bunch of tournaments this year. This is their 2nd tournament on Darbone.
Just a fish.
He's moving. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Got him. We fished a couple. We started here, I guess, back in February, and we weren't doing too bad after day 1, and we really stunk it up on day 2. Well, we went from 17th to 52nd or something like that, and that kind of messed us up. But then we did all right at Washington and Grenada and Truman, and did all right yesterday. We just gotta pick it up. But we kind of hit a flurry yesterday between 11 and 1, so we're hoping we can find those fish and get them to bite again. We threw back several. We probably threw back a half dozen on our scale. It was 140s yesterday. We could use all those right now.
Dalton and Larry Gorham are in 6th place, missing the top 5 by less than half a pound. They're assessing whether the tough bite and what they have in the live well is enough to keep them on the leaderboard today.
Hopefully our cushion yesterday, well, we don't even have a cushion, but like our big enough weight will hopefully get us like a top 20 maybe.
Top 20.
You don't think so?
People behind are gonna come up, people in front, they go back.
Yeah, but the way you look at it that way, let's say there's 50 of them, 35 of them are gonna go down. Like behind us, and 15 of them are gonna go up. You know? More are gonna go down than up. Especially if this bite's like this for everyone, or like a lot of people. Which I'm hoping it is. That's pretty much all we got to go off of now.
In 2nd place, TJ and Alex Palmer are having a completely different afternoon than they had yesterday.
That one just turned and swam away, so generally those big fish, I don't know if they've been pressured or what, but you have got to do everything just right to get them to bite. Hang on.
Oh yeah. That's a solid fish.
I'm casting 20 foot on them. These ones are letting us get a little closer before they're spooking. Yesterday afternoon we couldn't get 30 foot. If you stayed 30 foot away from them and casted to them, you could cast 5-6 times, drag a jig by them, but you get under that 30 foot range, they were real spooky. And once they start running, they are really tough to get. So what we'll do is zoom back out to about 60 feet and just watch that fish and let them calm down, and they'll eventually settle down. Then you can ease back up to that 30 foot range and start casting at them again. But they go to the bottom here, and when they drop down to that bottom, if you're not real finicky with your foot pedal and stay on them, you'll lose them real quick, and then they are tough to find again.
We are at that point in the day when the anglers need to get off the water and head for the weigh-ins to find out which team wins the day and which team is Angler Team of the Year 2021.
Here's the number you need to see right there for them to win a minimum of $30,000. They're going to need 1204. They have their 7 fish. Will it be TJ and Alex Palmer? Will it be Richard Bowling and Gary Lee? Let's find out right now. Richard Bowling, Gary Lee, I need 1205. 1205? Oh my God! 1147, 2-day wait, 2409. Your national champions, TJ and Alex Palmer.
This is the last year fishing with my son as a youth. Next year he's an actual adult as far as the tournaments go. I couldn't be more proud of my son for sticking it out. We love the Crappie Masters. They do one heck of a job. They put on an awesome show.
Moving up from 15th place on day 1, Wes Barmore and Mark Theodos surprised the field to land in 5th place. Dropping 3 places, yesterday's leaders, Bowling and Lee, find themselves in 4th place on Championship Saturday. Eric Hagel's 24.28-pound total moves him up 2 spots to take over 3rd. Moving from 3rd place to 2nd is the team of Clay Gann and Todd Froby, with a 2-day total of 24.38 pounds. Here's how the rest of the field finished up the last tournament of 2021. In the Angler Team of the Year race, Matthew Rogers and Bruce Rogers maintain their top spot and pick up the 2021 Crappie Masters Angler Team of the Year. The 2021 tournament trail has come to a close, but the fishing action isn't over. Join us next week for another action-packed episode of Crappie Masters.